Okay, so today we're going to do a basic foil retouch, and I'm going to show you a parting that we can use that will get your color close tight to the root and be able to have a nice grow out. So this sectioning, we're going to start with the top box and we're going to take it all the way back to the crown. So when we're doing these boxes, it may feel like I'm doing a perm sectioning at first, but we need to make it a lot wider. When we're doing foiling, we want to cover as much surface area as possible. So when you take your foil, you technically will be folding this in on the side to lock it in. So this is the max width that you can do your sectioning. So if I was going to do a perm sectioning, it'd probably be a ½ inch shorter than this on each side. So this is a good measure to see. I always do the foils lengthwise when I'm doing a retouch. So I have the overhang so I can fold in there. If I go this way, then my foil sections will be so skinny and I can't cover as much surface area as possible. So I always want to stop this right before the head round. So that's going to vary from person to person. So if I go all the way down here and pull this up, then it's just a little more difficult. I like my sections to feel as flat as possible. Same way on the side, I want to get this sectioning right before the head rounds at the parietal ridge. Because if I go down here and take this too long, then I'm placing a foil on a curve of the head. So I don't want to do that. I want to get it right at the corner of the head before it begins to round. And then that way I have nice, neater foils going in. Okay, so this first top box is complete. Now I will take this box, the full width, all the way down to the occipital bone. And this will vary from person to person's head and how far you're gonna highlight down. Also on how wide their head is at the bottom. So usually around the occipital is a good standard test. So you really want to keep this, the width of that foil curved in. See how this is over here and it's going down the round of the head? I want to slide that off. I want to make this feel as flat as possible. So with this section here, you can see how it's flat. Anytime you do foils over a curve of a head, you will never get as close to the root as you need to, but if you're working on a flat surface. So now I just take this line straight horizontal across, and then I'm going to clip all the sides in. I will section those later as I begin placing foils. So I just put it into one section there. Go to this side, take this line straight horizontal across. Put this in. And when I do foiling, I always do the regular clips like this because I don't want bulky butterfly clips in my way as I start working. So at the nape, if I'm going to put highlights through the nape area, then what I do is I slide this in half. And this is why, depending on the width of the head at the occipital, on how low you need to go or how high. So I don't want this section here at the top to be any wider than my guide here. So that's perfect size that I can get a foil in there. And then that way I'm covering a lot more surface area by splitting this into 2 than maybe 3. So once I get my lines set, I kind of just get them basically, and then I go back and clean it up a little as I go. Just make sure it's all balanced. Okay. So we have a top box. We bring that mohawk box all the way down the occipital. Then I go and put the line horizontal across the occipital bone. Clip all the sides into one section. This is wider than the foil, but we'll separate that as we go. And then you have the nape section in 2 sections.